Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Jank 2.0. But this doesn't look like Jank. Where are we? Today we're not actually going to be on the Jank 2.0 server, we're going to be on our creative test world because I want to start working on our lobby. If you don't know by now, Jank 2.0 is my giant redstone vanilla survival Minecraft game which I'm building on my server, and we've been doing a lot of clearing of areas to make space for our big builds, but I want to actually start doing some of those big builds, and I think the lobby is a great place to start because you got to enter Jank. There's got to be a way in. Last season I made an enormous kind of a castle cathedral thing. It's basically just a big set piece, it doesn't really have much of a function. But we also need one for this season as well, and rather than just starting to build it in survival, I usually tend to plan my builds in creative and then kind of rebuild them in survival. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is my creative server. You may recognize our automated iron golem farm thing, and we've got world edit on this server, so it should be a bit easier to get stuff constructed. And the first thing that we actually need to do when we're constructing this lobby is work out our beacon positions. Alrighty, beacons are in place. This is where the beacons will go, and actually it's less beacons than I thought I needed. Now the next thing I'm doing, and I've started kind of doing it over here, is I need to design a floor. I think a floor is quite good to kind of give a sense of the theme of the entire thing. I actually have no idea what this is going to look like, but I think let's start off with a floor and then go from there. So last season we did a floor that was very like dark. It definitely felt like a castle, and I think in this season I want to lighten it up. So this is what I have at the moment. I think it is going to change a bit, but we've got the yellows, we've got the greens, which I think really add some depth to it. Ooh, maybe something like that. I kind of like these little raised platforms. It's quite odd, but I think that almost, yeah, that does work as a floor. Look, so we'll have a bit like stairs coming in, and then maybe from just a bit forward here, maybe. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm just copying and pasting this essentially, just creating this floor. Okay, we've got some stairs in. Okay, it's coming along. More stairs. These are going to be replaced eventually with something else. I've not kind of worked it out yet. You enter this big area and you've got this kind of corridor going all the way around it, and then in the middle we're going to have some kind of scene, something here in the middle. Alright, I've not done the border yet, but I've made this thing here, which I think is going to be our columns. I do think this design is very pretty. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful column? Oh, yeah, I do like those a lot. Okay, it's coming along. It's coming along. So these beacons are going to be off most of the time. I just need to have blocks that they can go through. So my recording software wasn't recording my voice, so I'm going to have to just narrate over the clips that I had already recorded. As you can see, we've done quite a lot of progress on our lobby. I have finished the second kind of course. I've added this kind of retaining wall and I think it looks really good. I've added up some stairs and this kind of corridor that leads downwards. Not sure it's going to be down there yet, but I'm going to add something later on. But I've also been thinking about the centerpiece for our lobby. I want some big statue in the center, and I've actually been jotting down a few different ideas. You can see here we've got a series of dragons. This first one here is kind of a very rough dragon I made just using just planks, just trying to get the shape of a flying dragon. This one here instead is the same dragon as before, but I've added in slabs and trapdoors, and that adds a lot more texture to it and makes the lines a lot smoother. So I'm very happy with that, how this has looked. I've been sculpting away at it to make this organic build. This one here is instead retextured. I've changed some of the blocks up to make it fit a bit more within the actual structure. But eventually kind of what I've decided is I don't like the flying dragon image as much. So instead instead I decided to create the same kind of dragon but standing up, and you can see it's almost a homage to like the original Charizard cards. I've added in some fire coming out of its mouth, some different colors of copper to show that this statue's been here for a very, very long time. I'm going to now try and copy it into the map, and once that's done I'm going to add in another course, another layer up above, kind of finish up the floor. Now as you can see, the dragon is in its place in the middle of the room, and I've added in another course, as you can see up here. Now in addition to adding him in, I finished up kind of the interior, so I started working a bit on the exterior, this part here. You can see that I've added in these kind of archways to make it feel a bit more detailed. And I think I'm going to actually copy this entranceway on all 4 sides. So there's actually going to be 4 entrances. And the other thing I've been working on is this thing here. So this will be eventually like an archway from which you can enter the main lobby. And I worked on this little wall design. And I gotta say, I really, really enjoyed it. It's kind of copying some of the motifs from within it, but kind of switching it up a bit. I like how it's not just a flat wall, but it's got like a lot of different textures. It goes in and out. I think my next step is actually going to be to copy this inside wall all the way around. Time for another quick update. Here we go. This is the front of our building. And I've put this kind of archway here as well. And I think it looks pretty cool. And I wasn't too sure about these big patches of moss, but I think they work out quite nicely actually. I've started building kind of this main structure. Once I've done this, the next step is actually building inner arches that go across here. And I guess also here. So a lot more work has happened. I have been working on this stuff here, which you can see, the roofing for our lobby. And this was a bit of a nightmare to do, but it looks super cool. Look at that. It's quite easy to kind of do these sections here, but this corner was particularly tricky because you kind of have a curved surface that needs to go around somehow, but you also got like a square base. It's a bit complicated, but I managed to kind of make that work. And then in the kind of entranceway, the transition between this bigger arch to these smaller arches on the side, that was very tricky, and I think I've got it, although I'm sure there is some inconsistencies throughout this. I do need to build something here. I want this to go a bit higher, I think, because it needs to kind of incorporate his whole head. Yes, I think to have like almost that much again going upwards, and then maybe like a roof, a cupola on the roof. But something I just want to do quick is I want to try out some shaders, because we do actually have resource package shaders that we will be using in Jank 2.0, and if the lobby doesn't look good with those shaders, then we have a problem. Okay, so here it is with the shader. Oh, there's a bit of fog maybe? So I think actually I may just keep these shaders from this point onwards, because if I'm going to start doing builds in this Jank, even on the server, I kind of need to have the shaders on, because otherwise I may be doing stuff that does not look good at all. Let's work on the center for now. It's time for more progress update. As you can see, I have added in this thing here, the cupola, and this took me a long while to get sorted. You can see over there some failed attempts at this. Luckily in World Edit you can quite easily create a sphere, so if you go here I could write in H sphere, that will just generate a sphere. So inside the lobby, this is what it looks like. I've added in a bit of glass at the top there as well. But I mean, this place is magical. Oh, I love it so much. There's a lot of like minute details. It's not just like the big things. You also need to pay attention to all the small things. So we're getting there. The interior is essentially done. There's a few more things I want to do. So I've decided that this level here is where we're going to connect it up to the rest of the mountain. But what I do need to still finish up is the roof. Like I don't think I need to go any taller with this, but I do kind of want to maybe do little like turrety things. I want to make these a bit taller, that's for sure. Okay, more updates. I've made a bit more progress. As you can see, I've created these pretty threatening orbs at the four corners. and I made these kind of arms reaching up holding the orb, which I think look pretty cool. I've done a bit of work on this roof here. I need to top off these towers still. So I've added in this thing here, which is the entrance to Jank 2.0, just a random item that opens up and leads to this room here, which is going to be our entrance to Jank 2.0. Very similar to what we did last year. But I just want to take a second because I think I've been doing a lot of like just rushing around building things off camera. So I just want to kind of show you a bit of how all these things are being made. And essentially this is a very like regular structure. So this side here is the same as that side and that side and that side. I'm just making like a small section and then copying and pasting. So I'm going to go slightly higher on this. Okay, yep, it's looking good. I want this to be a bit less uniform. It's just very blocky for now. So this is what I mean by creative process. This feels to me a lot more like a creative thing. We use a lot of green. Maybe we lean into that. And the problem with this is that there isn't any... we want something that has stairs. I don't want to go for copper because that's what I always do. Bricks looks like an option. It's not the right hue. It's a bit too red. It's quite a shift, but I don't hate it. No, it's not quite right. Oh. It comes in lots of variants, so this could work. It's also got a chiseled block. Okay, something like that. Not sure, does that fit in? I think I'm going to keep on going because we can always use World Edit to quickly switch in different blocks. I think there's something we can do with this. I'm just not 100% sure what that is yet. Okay, time for essentially the last update. We're basically done. I have finished the roof and as you can see, I have changed the roof. I did not like that combination of colors. I think Tough has like a blue tinge that doesn't really work well with this very green and red palette. And I replaced it with some of the blocks we already have in the palette. And I think that works really nice there. I even gone ahead and added it in here in the middle. The reason for that is that these patches were very dark. And actually adding this block of light in the middle has made them a lot nicer. But enough talking. What's happening with this roof? Well, we've got this lovely decoration up here. And then we end up on this. This is what we've got. This is the roof. And I think it works out pretty cool. I really like how it kind of progresses. It's not just one of your typical kind of sloped roofs either. It's just got a lot more interesting things going on. The towers are all done. I finished at the top of the towers. The interior is all done. There is only one more thing that's left to do. And it's a tedious one. If you have a quick look at, let's say, the outside here, you may notice that some of this terracotta is not in the right position. Rearrange all of these into the right position. So I'm just going to do that quickly and then I'll be back. Alrighty, we're nearly done. Okay, I think that's it. Let me just double check. Yep, that's all looking good. That's all looking good. They look so much nicer now they're all in the right direction. They really look like little flowers. But that means we're on the last step of the process, which is moving this enormous build onto the server. Okay, and then we do that. Right, that's selected the whole thing into this box. We can now import our schematic by doing this. Okay, I'm currently in free cam, so we can actually see it flying about. And yeah, this thing is absolutely massive. Wow, look at it. There's a bit of hollowing out of mountains still to do. Like this needs to come down. This side's not too bad, but that side, basically we need to take out this whole mountain still. So yeah, from next episode we're going to start constructing this in survival. That may take, you know, the next 40 episodes by the looks of it. Oh, it's going to look so cool though from down here. Look at that. But something I want to do before we finish off this episode, there's something I need to look at. I'm really scared to do so. So just hold my hand while I do this, please. I need to look at how many resources we need for this thing. Okay, that's 35,000 mud bricks, 32,000 moss blocks, 18,000 mud brick stairs, 16,000 brown concrete powder. All of this is crazy, like 4,000 yellow glazed terracotta. What? Oh no, what have I done? Okay, well, we also have 16 blocks of netherite, let's not forget that. Yeah, this is going to be quite a big job, let's just say. I need to work out how to make a mud brick farm. I don't even think you can make a mud brick farm. Don't you need like wheat for that? I may have to build like the biggest wheat farm ever built on any server. I mean, that is pretty cool. It's going to be worth it once it's done. If you want to see me suffer building this, please subscribe to my channel. This is part of an enormous project, but it's one that I am determined to finish. So yes, please subscribe to my channel. Please like and comment this video as well if you have enjoyed it. And I'll see you all in the next one.